So today I'm going to talk about how to get started with your About Me page for your portfolio. Let me just share my screen really quick. Okay, so this is part one of how to create your About Me page for your online portfolio. And so there are, a lot of designers that don't even have an About Me page. Even I haven't had one for some time in the past. So, but there are a lot of benefits to having one. And just to get into the benefits first, so the first one is personal branding. With a About Me page, you can really customize your About Me page to your personal brand. And this will actually really help with your identity online too. It also separates you from maybe other designers that are applying for the same role. With your own personal brand, it's really going to help you stand out. So the second part is it also establishes trust. When you have your dedicated online page, it really does help people know exactly who you are and what you're offering. And then highlighting your expertise. So with your About page, you can highlight the key areas that you really stand out in, and this will help them also really know what you're looking to get hired for. And then this is great for networking opportunities. You can add call to actions within your About Me page. And then lastly, it's really helpful for the SEO purposes. So searching online, it optimizes your website better when you have an About Me page. So now that we've covered the About Me benefits for having the page, we're going to hop into all the key areas that you'd want to have on your page. So with all these different layers added, it kind of helps build up to who you are. So the main areas are your value that you bring, the service offerings, your journey as a designer, and your mission statement. Cool. Just want to make sure everyone can hear me. Okay, cool. So first, the intro part, you can really customize it. So you can have it very minimalistic. It really just depends on your personal brand and how you want to design your page. But we'll get into that in part two of About Me. Right now, we're just going over the key areas that you would want to consider including. So after this session, you'll want to go and create a doc of all these different elements. And then in part two, we will explore different layouts, different design options for your About Me page. So first, we want to get all the content nailed down, and then we can get into the second phase of creating the wireframing and the visual designs. So with the intro, you first obviously want to go over who you are. This doesn't have to be super elaborate. It can be very high level. And then you want to list your main qualifications that helps you stand out in a professional manner. And then what values you bring. So that's like the intro part. Once you have the intro, you can have your mission statement. So with your mission statement, you want to define your purpose, your passion, and then your value. What value are you bringing with your set of skills? And what area do you want to work in as a designer? Are you really interested in healthcare sector? Are you more interested so it just really depends on where you want to get into. So there's enterprise, there's consumer applications like music. So you really want to focus, and especially if you're a new designer and you're still deciding where you want to pivot, you can keep it more broad. But if you are more mid-level or more senior, you can really niche down on the area that you want to specialize in. But you can also be a generalist too. So it depends on how far you want to go with that. And then you want to keep it concise. 1 to 2 sentences is good. And then the next part is your journey. So, what brought you here? What got you into design? And then you can create timelines depending on how we design this, how you design your about page. You can create on what order. It depends. And if you have less experience, then you would want to probably not do a design where you're doing a timeline. Maybe you're going to be focused more on the key areas that you studied in school. And then pivotal moments, you want to make sure that you're getting all the moments in your journey that stand out. So, what, for example, if you switch careers, right, you would want to highlight what got you into design, and maybe that was connected to your previous role that somehow there was some overlap, and then you decided to switch into that. So, challenges and growth. People do like to see growth elements and then what areas you overcame, what struggles you overcame. And then you want to show progression, show how you've developed, how you've grown over time. And then you would want to also link it to your current role. And if you don't have a current role right now, you would want to link it to your current education that you're doing, or the school that you just graduated from, or the boot camp you just finished. So you'd want to make sure that you're linking it to the present moment. What are you doing right now? Because that's what they care about most, is what are you doing now? And then your future aspirations. What are your goals in the future? Where do you see yourself next? Is really important. The next section. So your services. What services are you going to be offering? And if you're a generalist, you'll probably have more categories. So you can organize these categories. Or if you want to be really specialized, you can pick one area, and within that one area, you can have maybe 2 to 5 different areas of services that you offer. You want to clearly state the name of all these services, and then organize it in a way that is readable. So bullet points is really great, or subheadings. And then having a call to action. So your contact information is really important to have in this area too. And then with value, you really want to show what makes you unique and what value you bring. And so this can be a skill set that you have that's really unique. It can be your approach to design, the frameworks that you use for design. It can also be the niche that you're in that is very specialized. So, for example, if healthcare is a great example, not all designers have experience doing healthcare. Or if that's like a goal that you strive for, you can also, like, if you're just finishing school, you may not have an established niche yet. So in that case, you would want to showcase different areas that you're studying, or that you're exploring, or projects that you're working on. And then you want to have the option to showcase metrics. Now, with people coming out of school, it will be harder to showcase metrics. So if you have the opportunity to do some usability testing at your school, it's a really good chance to be able to add these metrics in your about page to show the success for your case studies. But if you're a mid designer or senior level, you can definitely add those key metrics. And then you want to talk about why you do what you do and what motivates you. So what is your why? And that can be different for everyone. But having your why makes you very unique and makes you stand out, because no one is going to have exactly the same why. Now, with recommendations, you want to be able to add 1 to 2. So this is your about page. So you wouldn't want to list all of your recommendations. over time, as you progress in your career, you're going to add more and more. You're going to have more and more recommendations. So you will want to probably only showcase one or two, max three on your about page, and then you can link it to another page that has all of them. Or you can even link it to your LinkedIn, but I prefer to have an actual page for your recommendations. And so this can be called different things, like, for example, what others say, and then you would have it in a quote format. You can also consider highlighting parts of the phrases that really stand out. And then you want to definitely choose recommendations that are relevant to your audience. So make sure that it actually syncs up with the role that you're going for. And then, yeah, like I said, linking it to your full reviews. And then with that means you have to keep it updated. So you do have to consider the element of updating this about page, every 6 months or every year. So that is for part one. You can ask questions in an about page. It doesn't take that much time. You can decide how much time you want to invest into it, but it is a great way to showcase your experience. It also shows a little bit of who you are and your personality. And we will, in the next session, in part two, we'll go over the designs, different formatting, and also tone, and your brand tone. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.